world mapping video, and in today's video we'll look into a scenario in which Latin America unites in 2022. Although there is a problem almost instantly, as America feels threatened after the capital, which is Brasilia, starts boycotting America for no reason. America gets upset. And they say, guys, we're going to war. To hold the people who are oppressing us and our people, teach them reality. With them, I'm pretty sure that in the north of Mexico, they're really pro-America. Well, in the north of America, they're also pro. With a pro-American rebellion in Mexico breaking out. As America is easily able to spread their influence into this area. Because when you're right on someone else's doorstep, it's easy to spread your influence. And it's going to be an odd start. Along with pro-American people, an invasion of Cuba is made. Which leads to invasion of Jamaica and leads to the re-liberation of Puerto Rico, or so they say. And then they stop there because why would they go any further? While these pro-American rebels spread. I guess they're quickly learning their lesson. And these rebels want to join America too. So America hasn't even been fighting that long, and this is what it looks like. That's probably like months. 4 weeks of fighting approximately. America sends a force into the Yucatan Peninsula. And they also send one by the Panama Canal. And this is a confederation, so they decided to invade the Nicaragua area. And that's just a lake, by the way. I think. And since the refusal of surrendering, they invade here. With an ultimatum, with them asking for the surrender. And for these nations to just give up. Which, eventually, they managed to do. But that's after taking a big chunk of here. And basically, land. Forcing war reparations and forcing the opening of trade between them. Which, they don't make war reparations because they're wary of the long-term impacts. Because, war reparations don't usually get paid. One. And it allows another country to prosper, which is not great. While America's at this, they kind of do something very weird. Well, I guess it's possible. They annex Canada. America. What? America? And yeah. Well, this only deters South America for a bit with a strong America. The United States think they're so great. With it looking like they are, but who's to say they aren't a paper tiger in this video? And yeah, well, Brazil seizes the opportunity after Brazil and Latin America, after this embarrassing defeat, go after someone. None other than Ivory Coast, because they're cruel. But then they realize there would be sanctions from the African Union, so they invade Guinea, which is a suspended member of the African Union. Pretty interesting. And they push into Guinea. With their Air Force having dominance, they make this kind of happen. And why are they squares? Oops, I meant to have circles. I had 5. That's why. 5 is square. And they take over Guinea. And the world now sees them as a potential threat. And I'm now entering into Ivory Coast and Ghana and Burkina Faso. They're on a killing streak. And before any troops enter, they take out the Air Force and they do this. And they also do this. And well, kind of go into Ghana. But this is just the navy of these nations are now overtaken. as they managed to do this. They have manpower, so they can take out Nigeria. Yeah. Kinda doesn't go so well for these guys, and they're completely annexed into Latin America. And why are they focusing on this area of Africa? Because they can. They're focusing on what's closest to them. As you can see, what's closest to them is kind of... Yeah. They debate whether they should push into Mali, but then they realize they can. Why do they realize this? Because there is a group in the north that really wants independence or something. Yeah. When you talk as much as Wild Member. Ooh, that's something. And Azawad declares their independence as this war takes place. I don't think Azawad would have many people. This is a desert. Well, a lot of countries do actually shock with populations. Explain how Java has the same population as Russia. And explain how Brazil and Latin America is doing this well. Because they're cheating. And why are they cheating? Because they can. And why do they want to cheat? Because they can. And why is the International Court of Human Rights upset? Don't ask me. Peace is a human right, I guess. How come peace isn't a human right? Think of it. It's not a human right. Because it can't really be a war crime, because if that was the case. And they're like, hey, Spain and Portugal, you want to see what it's like to be colonized? They already know what it's like to be colonized. Morocco? Do you have anything to say? Well, we didn't invade them, says Morocco. With Galicia being taken out, because who cares? It's just Spain. And if Portugal can't win, oh, Spain can't, probably. And yeah, they take Lisbon. And not long after, only hours later, Madrid falls. Well, they do this. With France sending in a huge chunk of their army saying, yeah, this is a peacekeeping mission. They enter into Catalonia. Yes, France, I don't think this is a peacekeeping operation. How do they even do that? Like, just look. And then Spain is like, why? And you know what this Spain is? You want to go to Spain? Oh wait, this is Spain without the S. You want to go to Pain? Or do you want to be bred in France? And, well, the rest falls to the French peacekeeping forces. Definitely peacekeeping forces and not annexation forces. Latin American cut, and they say, then give us our land back. America's like, what is your land you want? And they're like, oh, this? That's our land. That's your land. That's a lot of America, I hate to tell you. But you're not ready for that, just saying. But they did annex part of Spain. And, well, Europe is pretty frustrated. But elite reports says France supported them, which is not a shock. With Morocco being what? What? Says Morocco as boom, boom, boom happens. Morocco responds with what the. And yeah. And the CFA franc. Who annexes countries part of that? Well, none other but our best friend, Latin America. And yeah, why am I calling him our best friend? With this happening, Rabat falls, and they recognize Western Sahara as a part of Morocco. Pretty. That's so okay when you're going to do this to both nations. They start thinking of how they will divide colonies. Well, I'm coming up with the most erratic idea. Spain. That's Portugal. That's Galicia. That is Basque. That is Morocco. That is Sahel. That, my friends, is West Africa. And now they say, well, with Portugal gone, what should we do now? Hey, Angola, want some beans? With them declaring war on former colonies of Portugal and Spain. But Spain is long dead, so it's sad. They basically say they have the right to all of West Africa, basically. And a bit of East Africa, just to let... But they do allow the Congo to exist. Because if they have a medical emergency, where's better to go but Dr. Congo? Yeah, that's mean. That's a bad idea. But yeah. And they make the state of... Is this Angola? No, they make a state of Angola. Because who would say, is this Angola? And this is the state of Mozambique. That's the state of East Africa. Yeah, well, East Africa does include them. With them actually forcing some nations to send land over with a threat of taking half of their country, or they can just cede their coasts. Help create West Africa. Well, basically, Namibia compromises, saying you can have this land if you take less of our coast. Congo says fine, with them giving up their panhandle. But all of these nations also get free access to trade. And yeah, guys, that's the state of East Africa. That's the state of Central Africa. I was recording and I didn't even realize. So yeah. And now their final mission in Africa. With this being the most mega campaign ever. No, that didn't work. So, one sec, guys. We forgot one thing. Them coming in on this side, Nigeria unprepared, them coming in from this side. With Nigeria unprepared for a two-front war. It looks like Nigeria's flag, but with red and blue. And yeah, let's see what their treaty is. With expanding West Africa, why wouldn't they? Yeah. They expand Central Africa. They make South Nigeria and North Nigeria. They divided these based on something or another. Well, that's it. They like war, I guess. With Central Africa just getting strong. But you must see the next part. This is the most funny part of this video. And why are they drawing straight lines? Ask Spain. They learned it from Spain, I guess. Or did they learn it from Portugal? I'll let you guys debate that in the comments section. And now for the war that we've all been waiting for. Hey, Britain, they own the Falkland Islands. How does that make you feel? I'm joking. They probably don't. Because Britain forcefully took it. But, you know, forcefully own it, I guess you own it. If on paper you own it, but in reality you don't occupy it, who really owns it? Like, think of it. Who really owns the West Strip? Palestine or Israel? Israel, it occupies all of it. And while American forces are put on a full-scale retreat after, Venezuela decides to die. Nicaragua, Yucatan, and why am I calling it Yucatan? With the biggest battle of this war breaking out in Panama. But it doesn't do much. With this happening to America, with America basically But this is after America started having an economic trouble after the Canadian area started openly revolting. Wait, what? Canada revolting? You may think that's crazy, but is it really? We take enough Americanism with this area saying, no, we're not America. You seem to have some overlapping borders, Canada, with them being pro them. And this happens. With them quickly whipping Alaska out of the war. But they kind of freeze. But they get to hear. That's what Canada likes to do. Whenever we go to war with America, we win. Just saying. With peace actually being drawn up because America can't handle this. Humiliating this. Because they were humiliated. They were so badly humiliated. They are sad. Well, you can follow Wild Mapper on Instagram. Just saying, you should. It's Wild Mapper. On the ready line. And yeah, guys, Canada is free. And they look like a banana, but that's just Canada for you. No, I'm kidding. But that is funny. America would lose to Canada, just saying. Even though that's impossible by sheer manpower and military strength. Is it really? Just it's big advantage, though. With Puerto Rico being re-liberated. Haiti being liberated. The Cuban peso becoming a valuable currency. Don't a lot of Argentina uses the Argentine peso. With this kind of happening, America is in for a bad vid. For them, at least. With this happening, why did Canada revolt? I don't know. With them actually whipping America. Even in Florida, they whip America. They whip across the coast. They whip north where they want to annex lands. And this is where America just kind of dies. America dies. Wait, what? They do die. With America being a nothingness. With them just deciding, yeah, we can do this. With them going in the land full of a bunch of gunmen. And yeah, they basically say, yeah, America, you want to know what peace looks like? For you? Do. EU occupies Louisiana will be one of the strongest nations. And why is America getting away with so much slap? America just got a slap on the wrist by both Canada and then the Americas. Who knew America was a paper tiger in this video? And yeah, I'm getting rid of the coast. But why does that matter? I only did it twice. What's the worst it could do? Kill us? It won't. Just saying. And yeah, that's pretty much what it does. But you need to subscribe or else you won't see any straight line borders. Hey, I should try to redraw Europe but with only straight lines. Yeah, that's crazy. But isn't every border except the curved ones really just straight lines? Just small straight lines? Think of it. How small some of the straight lines would be. Small straight lines, wide straight lines, small straight lines, wide straight lines, and that's how it works. There's different size straight lines, guys. You should know that. And you should really know that. But you need to subscribe. We're at 83 subscribers, but we only have 12 days to get to 100. So the timer is on, guys. You really need to subscribe. Like, we need to pick up the slack and get to 100. Just get to 100. It'll make your dreams come true, maybe. I can't guarantee, but I bet it will. Just saying. 83 people support this channel. And yeah, this channel is supported by Wild Mapper. Yeah, everybody, it's like they all say, subscribe, then sub, then subscribe, then sub, then subscribe. But not the same person, because the same person just keeps subscribing. Eventually, YouTube would catch on and delete it all. So, do not be that person who inflates the subscriber count. But you should subscribe, because subscribing is what real people do. Bots don't know how. And please subscribe, like, you need a comment so I can see what you enjoy and what you like, what you think, what you sing. And if you can, that would be great. But this is just Wild Mapper. And you know, he's chill. But you need to subscribe. You just need to subscribe. It's common sense. It's common sense to subscribe. So subscribe. And that's all for today's video. Wild Mapper out.